Hey everybody, Ethan here from Odyssey Fitness. Just jumping on here to answer some questions about our no sugar or no added sugar challenge that we're hosting at Pica currently. Every week they submit forms and I basically just go over some questions that they may have. The reason why I do this challenge, the food industry now forces companies to list any added sugars on the food labels of all foods. So what that means is it was giving like fruits and vegetables bad reps because they have natural sugars in them. So basically what added sugar means is if a company is adding additional refined sugar to their products, your traditional white sugar, it can be used as a preservative, a sweetener, whatever it may be. Now, I'm not saying sugar is completely bad. It has its place and role for us, especially if you're an athlete or if you're doing very long endurance events like marathons or half marathons and things like that. The issue with added sugars is typically it's in products that have large amounts of saturated fat and fats with them. My best example would be cakes, pastries, candy bars, and things like that. So the issue with added sugars is typically it goes together with all these very high, flavorful foods. You end up overeating on your calories, adding on weight, and things like that. So just wanted to jump on here and just discuss some of the questions that I received this last week on their weekly check-ins. The first one they asked me was, are Diet Cokes okay? And during this challenge, I do recommend if you are a soda drinker or if you drink a lot of pop, to sub that out for diet products. Obviously, it's not going to have any nutritional benefits, very similar to table sugar, but positive out of that is that you're not going to get any additional calories from that. So I do recommend diet drinks over traditional sugary drinks like Gatorade. They originally came out with high sugary drinks, then they came out with G2s, and now they have a Gatorade Zero. I would tier those as in bad, good, and better. So I definitely would recommend swapping those out for sugar-free or reduced sugar beverages. The next question I had was, what can I suggest in a coffee to sweeten it up? That's going to be tough. You can use all natural honey would be an alternative because it's not added sugar. That'd be falling in the lines of your fruits. Just because it's going to be all natural, it's going to give you some benefits. You can also add in, monk fruit is a sweetener that's all natural. You can also add in milk if you want to as part of your creamer. I would recommend using skim milk to sort of give it that, frothy taste and everything like that. And then, let me check here. I had another question. If you guys have any questions, feel free to just ask me right now. I have one more here. If I recommended sweet potatoes over wet potatoes. Honestly, for health benefits, or even specific to this challenge, each one is you're splitting hairs. The only thing that sweet potatoes really outperforms wet potatoes on, especially if you're comparing apples to apples. And what I mean by that is the same size of potatoes. Sweet potatoes are going to slightly have a lot more vitamin A in them than wet potatoes. Both of them relatively have the same amount of calories, same amount of nutrients. Yes, sweet potatoes has double the fiber of wet potatoes, but you're talking the difference between in a medium-sized potato, a sweet potato might have, let's say 6 grams, and wet potato is going to have 3. So yeah, it is double. The absolute number is so low, it's not going to make a significant difference on macronutrient and things like that. So sort of splitting hairs over the choice. My best suggestion is the one that you like the most. I like white potatoes over sweet potatoes. We eat them all the time. It's one of our staples at our house. So definitely don't stress over something like that. Now, if you were comparing, say, white potatoes for mashed potatoes compared to cauliflower mash, obviously cauliflower mash is going to definitely outperform white potatoes. One, they're going to be lower in calories, higher in fiber. They're going to be a little more nutrient dense compared to white potatoes. So when you're breaking that down, very similar to white rice and brown rice, you're sort of splitting hairs. And honestly, you're probably paying a lot more for the sweet potato and the brown rice compared to the other two, just because of marketing gurus who label white things in the food industry as bad, and if it's something's brown or something's a different color or orange or something like that, they just label it as healthy or good for you. So those are the questions I had this week. One of the awesome things that I got out of this is that I got a message from one of the people that's participating in this, and she recently had her blood sugar levels tested. And for this challenge, she was pre-diabetic. And since doing this challenge, we're coming up on our second full week. She is now in the normal ranges, that's awesome. I mean, that's the whole point of these challenges, is to allow people to live a healthier lifestyle, but also don't make them live in a bubble. Obviously, during this, 6 weeks, we're really going to focus on reducing the added sugar completely. But eventually, she's going to get such a good grasp and understanding of how to read food labels. It's not going to be so challenging moving forward. So, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them underneath here. I'm going to post one of my favorites. It's a higher fiber sweetener. One of the doctors I used to work with at the Cleveland Clinic used to give it to her glycogen storage disease patients. They used to take that because it had very low impact on blood sugar levels, but it wouldn't cause any, gastrointestinal and things like that. So I'll definitely post that so you guys can, look it up on Amazon if you want to purchase it. I use it in a lot of our baking products or sweeteners with my cereals and stuff like that. All right, well, I'm looking forward to everybody's questions tomorrow. You'll get your second weekly check-in. So feel free to ask great questions. I'm always going to post the videos, and I'm always going to send them out through the app. All right, talk to everybody soon.